Chapter 91. Parent-Teacher Conference 7. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 91. Parent-Teacher Conference 7. Initially, Qin Churu did not have such thoughts. She only thought that Fu Hanchuan was here to look for Qin Sheng. At this moment, she could not help but feel a surge of anticipation in her heart. Just now, she had bumped into Fu Hanchuan, but Fu Hanchuan did not see her, so he did not greet her. Was this man really here to look for her? Qin Churu's hand nervously pinched the hem of her clothes. As Fu Hanchuan walked closer, her heart beat rapidly. Qin Churu was already prepared to say something. Fu Hanchuan stopped about a meter away from her. At this moment, Qin Churu lowered her head. She could see the sports shoes on his feet. This classmate. Fu Hanchuan's cold and pleasant voice sounded. Zhao Jia was very excited. She said in a low voice, "Churu, he's calling you." Qin Churu raised her head. Her face was very red. "You're here." She looked very familiar with Fu Hanchuan. It also seemed like Fu Hanchuan was looking for her. She was not sure that Fu Hanchuan was looking for her, but Fu Hanchuan was standing right in front of her and even called out to her. Qin Churu's heart was beating very fast. She could not help but feel proud. Qin Sheng could not be compared to her. No man could reject a woman as gentle as her. What else could a person like Qin Sheng have other than good looks? Seeing Fu Hanchuan and Qin Churu talking, Qin Churu still looked very shy. The surrounding female students were very envious. They huddled together and discussed in low voices. This big brother is here to look for Qin Churu. I think that there's a 90% chance that Qin Churu might be in a relationship with this man. Sigh, this Qin Churu is like a favored daughter of the heavens. She takes up all the good things. She has a brand, good grades, a good family background, and a handsome and rich boyfriend. However, Qin Churu did not notice that Fu Hanchuan's gaze was always on Qin Sheng. When she spoke, Fu Hanchuan did not look at her. He only said, "You're blocking the road." Qin Churu stood in the middle of the corridor, and there were a few girls standing beside her, blocking the way. Fu Hanchuan wanted to go to Qin Sheng's place, so he had to pass through here. Qin Churu's expression froze, and the way the surrounding girls looked at Qin Churu also changed. They thought that Fu Hanchuan was here to look for Qin Churu, and Qin Churu also acted as if she was very close to Fu Hanchuan, as if he was here to look for her. It was no wonder that they thought that way. Wasn't Qin Churu deliberately causing a misunderstanding? Huang Xiaoyan had been paying attention to this side. She was not far from Qin Churu, and when she saw the commotion, she almost laughed out loud. "Ha ha ha, I'm dying of laughter. Does this Qin Churu really think that she's a heartthrob? That every handsome guy is here to look for her?" At this moment, Qin Churu's face alternated between red and white, as wonderful as a color palette. With so many people looking at her, she could only brace herself and act as if she was very close to Fu Hanchuan. "We met at the coffee shop last time. Have you forgotten me?" Qin Churu tugged at her clothes and was very nervous. Fu Hanchuan frowned. His gaze finally landed on Qin Churu. "It's you." Qin Churu was delighted. She took a step forward, wanting to get closer to Fu Hanchuan. "Do you remember?" Fu Hanchuan frowned and stepped back a little. He did not like women to get too close to him, except for Qin Sheng. Fu Hanchuan did not give her any face. "I remember that last time, it was you who shamelessly approached me." Qin Churu instantly felt wronged. Her eyes turned red. When she met Fu Hanchuan's cold eyes, her hatred for Qin Sheng grew. It was all Qin Sheng, not her. Why else would he embarrass her in front of so many people? Feeling the mocking gazes around her, Qin Churu had never suffered such a grievance. When had she not been in existence where the stars worshipped the moon? Qin Churu could not stay any longer. She pushed Zhao Jia and ran away. Chapter 92. Parent-Teacher Conference 8. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 92. Parent-Teacher Conference 8. As soon as Qin Churu left, the surrounding students could not help but laugh mockingly. Ha ha ha, the live broadcast of the large-scale car crash scene. I really thought she was a pure goddess. It's all my fault for thinking wrongly. She was also a person who saw a handsome and rich man and went up to him. This is too much of a slut. This handsome guy doesn't like her. She actually went up to him. Just how big of a face does she have to think that he's here to look for her? Qin Churu had a good relationship with people, but many girls were jealous of her. At this moment, when they saw Qin Churu make a fool of herself, they were all mocking her. Because of her personality, Qin Churu didn't have any sincere friends. Even Zhao Jia had a hint of schadenfreude in her eyes when she chased after her. They were mocking Qin Churu, and their eyes never left Fu Hanchuan. Their gazes followed Fu Hanchuan's figure. When Fu Hanchuan walked in front of Qin Sheng, his footsteps stopped. The surrounding students also thought that Fu Hanchuan was asking Qin Sheng to give way. But Qin Sheng was standing at the side of the corridor, asking Qin Sheng to give way. A thought came to their minds. Fu Hanchuan chuckled, and the coldness in his eyes melted. It was very warm. Sheng. Qin Sheng was very surprised. Brother Fu, why are you here? Fu Hanchuan reached out and rubbed Qin Sheng's fluffy hair. Yes, it was very soft and felt very good. A low and mellow voice came out from his mouth. Naturally, I'm here to attend Sheng's parent-teacher conference. He had heard from Lu Ming when he was having breakfast at the Lu family's house this morning. Fu Hanchuan threw Lu Ming a very cold look. Why didn't he tell him earlier? Fu Hanchuan had an important meeting that had to be arranged. He settled the matter and rushed to school. When Old Master Lu knew that Qin Sheng was having a parent-teacher conference, and he also thought that Lin Shuya and Qin Hai wouldn't be there, he slapped his thigh and said excitedly, "Okay, I'll pack up. I'll go with you to attend Sheng's parent-teacher conference." Lu Ming's parents were overseas and couldn't make it back in time. They couldn't make it to Lu Ming's class either. At this moment, when he heard Old Master Lu clamoring to attend Qin Sheng's parent-teacher conference, he felt sour. He went over and asked, "Grandpa, what about me?" The next second, he received a supercilious look from Grandpa Lu. "You're just a brat. There's no need for me to go over. Sheng is just a girl. She's thin-skinned and has no parents. I'm going over to support her." Lu Ming. Alright, couldn't he recognize his status in the family? He was just a piece of grass, and Qin Sheng was a treasure. Old Master Lu sped up and quickly finished his breakfast. Fu Hanchuan also finished his breakfast. He stood up and said, "Grandfather's health isn't good and he should recuperate. It's better not to go over." Old Master Lu. Don't think that he didn't know that he wanted to go over, so he found an excuse. His body had already recovered. Fu Hanchuan did not hide anything. "I will go over to Sheng. Old Master Lu was so angry that he stomped his feet. After Fu Hanchuan said that, he left. He was angry and had nowhere to vent his anger. Looking at Lu Ming, he could not help but feel angry. How great would it be if Lu Ming was a girl? It just so happened that he was a man. Old Master Lu knocked his leg with his walking stick. He did not use much strength, but Lu Ming still cooperated by covering his leg. He cried out in pain. Old Master Lu said, "Eat, eat, 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 eat. If it weren't for the fact that my Lu family still has some money, you would have eaten it all up." Lu Ming. It was too difficult for him. He felt that the delicious breakfast in front of him had lost its flavor. He put down the bread in his hand, tidied up, and went to school. Lu Ming was a big eater. He didn't eat much in the Liu family. He was so hungry that he bought 2 big buns on the way. Chapter 93. Parent-Teacher Conference 9. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 93. Parent-Teacher Conference 9. Fu Hanchuan approached Qin Sheng. There was a faint milky fragrance on her body, and it was very sweet. He asked in a low voice, "Sheng Sheng, have you eaten the candy?" "Yes." Qin Sheng took out a milk candy and held it in front of Fu Hanchuan. "Brother Fu, do you want to eat it?" After thinking for a while, she felt that it was a little too little, so she took out another one. Fu Hanchuan's eyes were turbulent, and his body was emitting a vicious aura. He wanted nothing more than to make the Qin family pay the price. A few days ago, Fu Hanchuan had just learned that Qin Sheng was malnourished when she was young and had low blood sugar. In today's society, there was no lack of food, and very few people would have such a situation. Fu Hanchuan saw the candy in front of him, and the evil aura emanating from his body was instantly withdrawn. He took the candy from Qin Sheng's hand, and his gaze fell on Qin Sheng's hand. His eyes could not move away. Qin Sheng's hand was fair and slender. It was very beautiful. No one knew that Fu Hanchuan was a manipulative person. However, he had never met a pair of hands that could move his heart. The Qin Sheng in his dream was also very blurry. He couldn't see her hands clearly. He had already noticed it when he was having dinner with Qin Sheng. At this moment, when he saw her again, Fu Hanchuan forced himself to look away. "Sheng Sheng, I'll go in first." "Okay." Qin Sheng nodded obediently. Fu Hanchuan walked in. The surrounding students were staring at the two of them in a daze, not recovering from their shock. Was this man really here to look for Qin Sheng or to attend her parent-teacher conference? They were discussing the moment Fu Hanchuan left. F***ck, didn't they say that Qin Sheng came from the countryside? Those who came to attend the parent-teacher conference must be her brother or other relatives. Qin Sheng is from the countryside. How could she have such a rich relative? I'm suddenly so envious of Qin Sheng. If only I had such a relative. So with him, why would Qin Sheng need to be kept by an old man? Some people always liked to think of the worst. After hearing this, they guessed, could it be that Qin Sheng was kept by this man? An ordinary-looking female student immediately said, "If I were kept by him, I would also be willing." Some people did not say it in their hearts but thought the same. This Qin Sheng is too lucky to have met such a rich and handsome guy. Huang Xiaoyan was also stunned. After Fu Hanchuan left, she finally regained her senses. Huang Xiaoyan asked, "Sheng Sheng, is he your brother?" Qin Sheng tilted her head and thought about it. Their relationship could be considered as brother and sister. Hence, she nodded her head. Huang Xiaoyan covered her mouth and almost cried out, "Sheng Sheng, this is too surreal. You actually have such a handsome brother." Huang Xiaoyan's words were very loud and the surrounding girls heard it. God, he really is Qin Sheng's brother. It's over. I've been saying that Qin Sheng was kept as a mistress. I've offended her. By the way, does Qin Sheng need to be kept as a mistress by an old man if she has such an elder brother? The way the girls looked at Qin Sheng changed. It was no longer disdain and ridicule, but a little envy. They were also suspicious. Qin Sheng was kept as a mistress by an old man. There was no evidence. Someone only said that they saw it with their mouth. They were not sure what the truth was. There were also many people who followed the trend and created rumors. Fu Hanchuan came to Class 4's classroom. It was the first time that Teacher Lin had seen a man with such good looks. Fortunately, she was not infatuated. She adjusted her glasses and asked politely, "May I know who you are?" Fu Hanchuan did not say much. He only said coldly, "Qin Sheng's brother." Chapter 94. Parent-Teacher Conference 10. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 94. Parent-teacher conference 10. Teacher Lin understood. She pointed to a seat near the window and said, "That's Qin Sheng's seat." Fu Hanchuan nodded and walked to Qin Sheng's seat and sat down. Huang Xiaoyan's parents didn't come, so Fu Hanchuan sat alone. Teacher Lin stood on the podium and talked about the overall situation of Class 4, including the average score and the learning situation of Class 4. Hearing that the students of Class 4 had made great progress, the parents' stern faces finally revealed some gratified expressions. Teacher Lin then explained how the parents should arrange their children's studies at home for the coming semester. "I'll go get the results of this exam." After Teacher Lin said that, she hurried to the office. She had prepared the results of each of her classmates. She had wanted to show them to the parents, but she had forgotten. When Teacher Lin returned, she had 30 results in her hands. She also had a ranking of the student scores. Teacher Lin. Father Lin went up and shouted, "That kid Lin Feng must have caused trouble for you. This time, he dragged the class down. After I go back, I'll definitely teach him a lesson and beat him up." When Lin Feng, who had disappeared, heard his father's loud voice, the veins on his forehead bulged. He had a very bad premonition. Sure enough, the next second, he heard what Father Lin said, and it was in front of so many classmates. Lin Feng had finally calmed down, but at this moment, his face turned red again. He went up and tugged at Father Lin's clothes. "Dad, can you leave some face for me?" Father Lin glared at him. "You little brat, what face do you need? Why don't you promise your teacher that you'll study hard in the future and get into a good university?" Father Lin really hoped that Lin Feng could get into a good university and be educated. He was a nouveau riche with a net worth of billions and a large company. On the surface, everyone was respectful to him, but behind his back, they looked down on him and said that he was a bumpkin from the countryside. Father Lin wanted to change his habits, but it was very difficult. He could only place his hopes on Lin Feng. He hoped that Lin Feng could become an educated person. That way, Lin Feng would not be looked down upon by others. However, Lin Feng had always loved to play since he was young. He was not interested in learning. Father Lin was so worried that his hair had turned white. Teacher Lin adjusted the glasses on the bridge of her nose and said with a smile, "Lin Feng's father, did you misunderstand?" Lin Feng stuck his neck out and agreed, "Yes, Dad, don't accuse me wrongly." Father Lin kicked him and Lin Feng almost fell to the ground. Lin Feng looked around and realized that many people were looking in his direction. Lin Feng blushed again. When he went back, he had to reason with his dad. It was too embarrassing. Could he leave some face for him outside? His attitude towards Lin Feng was different. Father Lin turned around and put on a smiling expression. "Teacher, is there a misunderstanding?" Teacher Lin looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng was putting his hands together and looking at her pleadingly. Teacher Lin took out Lin Feng's report card and gave it to Father Lin. Then, she told him about Lin Feng's results and his recent performance. "Lin Feng has made great progress this time. He has reached the passing mark in every subject. He is very smart and loves to study recently. According to this development, it won't be a problem for him to get a better second score when the time comes." Lin Feng's father was shocked. This was the first time he had heard a teacher speak highly of Lin Feng. Whenever he attended parent-teacher conferences, didn't they say that Lin Feng often spoke in class and fought with his classmates? Or that he slept during exams and held the entire class back? Lin Feng's father turned his head. "Son, have you changed your personality? Or have you been switched?" Chapter 95. Parent-Teacher Conference 11. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 95. Parent-Teacher Conference 11. Lin Feng. Lin Feng's face was full of black lines. He moved his face closer to Father Lin and said, "Dad, look at me. Am I your son, your biological son?" "Ha ha ha." Father Lin pulled Lin Feng's face back and forth before laughing out loud, "Son, you've done well. Tonight, when I go back, I'll make you a big meal and reward you with a big chicken leg. If you get into a second-tier university in the college entrance examination, I'll buy you a car. If you get into a first-tier one, I'll buy you a car and reward you with 10 million yuan. Lin Feng's father was delighted. He waved his hand and promised Lin Feng a big reward. Lin Feng was the same. When he heard about the reward, he was full of energy. Dad, I'll definitely work hard. When Teacher Lin saw the father and son get along, she was surprised. They didn't look like father and son, but like brothers. She didn't disturb the father and son. Teacher Lin took the report card into the classroom and sent the students' results to their parents one by one. Fu Hanchuan also received it. There was a very conspicuous score on the report card. 736, the ranking of each subject and the total score was a series of words. Fu Hanchuan was very surprised. Lu Ming had told him that Qin Sheng had gotten first place, but he did not expect Qin Sheng to get close to full marks in every subject. With this result, it would not be difficult for her to get the top scorer in the National College Entrance Examination. Immediately, a strong sense of pride rose in his heart. His little girl was very outstanding. Teacher Lin smiled and explained, "This exam is very difficult, but everyone's scores are much higher than the last time. Our class has also produced the first place in the entire grade this time. First place in class 4. Wasn't class 4 the worst class in the school?" The parents were very surprised. Student Qin Sheng scored 736 points this time, 12 points higher than the second place. The parents turned their heads one after another, trying to guess who Qin Sheng's parents were to gain some experience. They were guessing, but they were too embarrassed to ask Teacher Lin. They could only discuss who was Qin Sheng. Only a parent sitting in the front remembered. Didn't the man who just came in say that he was Qin Sheng's brother? He quickly walked over and asked, "Excuse me, are you Qin Sheng's brother?" "Yes." Fu Hanchuan paused and said, "She's my family's child." "Then can you tell us how she usually studies at home?" the parent asked humbly. The other parents also came over. Fu Hanchuan replied, "Talent plus diligence. She will study in her room after she goes back." Qin Sheng was listening outside. She would study after she went back. Qin Sheng was silent. Was she too lazy? Hearing that, the parent nodded in agreement. "Yeah, that kid in my family doesn't like to study. As soon as he studies, his grades improve." "Sir, your sister is in class 4. The one who could pass class 1 and get first place is really amazing." "Yes, if I had a daughter like her, I wouldn't have to put in so much effort." In school, results were always important. To parents, results were more important than anything else. At this moment, they started to praise her. Fu Hanchuan smiled when he heard other people praise Qin Sheng continuously. Seeing that there wasn't much time left, Teacher Lin interrupted them, "If you want to know the student's performance in school, you can ask me alone." Some parents went up to talk to Teacher Lin. Fu Hanchuan walked out of the classroom and went to Qin Sheng's place. Class 1. When Lin Shuya came, she had specially dressed up. She was quite beautiful, and her appearance was very dignified and noble. Chapter 96. Parent-Teacher Conference 12. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 96. Parent-Teacher Conference 12. She was very arrogant. In Class 1, Su Yishio and Lu Ming's parents did not come. In the past, Qin Churu was the one with the best results among the parents. Lin Shuya also received a lot of flattery. At that moment, she was surrounded by everyone, enjoying their praise. Lin Shuya also ignored their questions. Many parents saw Lin Shuya's appearance and stopped talking to her. Their dignity was not something that could be trampled on by her. Since Lin Shuya was unwilling to pay attention to them, they naturally would not lick her face. With Lin Shuya's attitude, there were still many people who were flattering her. Churu's mother, your Churu is too amazing. She always gets into the top 10 of the grade. That's right. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to teach such an outstanding daughter. She is beautiful, has good grades, and even has a master painter as her teacher. Churu's mother, you must have been constantly urging Churu to study at home. You can tell at a glance that she is a noblewoman. She is well educated and mannerly. Naturally, it is not surprising that she is able to teach such an outstanding daughter like Churu. People kept praising Chin Churu, and they also pinned some of the credit on Lin Shuya, saying that she had taught her well. Lin Shuya raised her head very high and said with a smile, this is all Churu's own hard work. I'm just giving her some simple pointers. Good grades depend not only on hard work, but also on talent. If your talent isn't good, you can't get a good grade either. Those parents' faces froze. Wasn't she saying that their children were stupid? No matter how hard they studied, they couldn't learn. Although their children couldn't get into the top 5, they weren't bad either. They could get into this H-City high school and were in class 1. Naturally, they had excellent grades. Some parents returned to their children's seats one after another. They felt very uncomfortable. Didn't she just get into the top 10? What was there to be proud of? In the end, didn't they also get into Capital University? There was no need to be divided into different grades. Although most of the parents no longer catered to Lin Shuya, there were still a few who surrounded Lin Shuya. The more they praised her, the more arrogant Lin Shuya became, and she was extremely pleased with herself. Liang Hua came in. Her expression was gloomy. Lin Shuya smiled and said, Teacher Liang, I want to ask how my Churu did on the exam. Liang Hua's expression was not very good. In the past, she always smiled and talked to Lin Shuya. She was very respectful to Lin Shuya. Now, she replied indifferently, you'll see it later. Lin Shuya's expression froze for a moment. She quickly returned to her dignified and elegant appearance and nodded with a smile. Okay. She was very dissatisfied with Liang Hua. She was used to Liang Hua's welcoming smile. She looked down on Liang Hua for her indifference this time. Wasn't she just a small teacher? What was there to be proud of? If her daughter had not stayed in class 1, she would not have given Liang Hua face. Liang Hua published the rankings of class 1. She did not care about the student's face like teacher Lin did. She also did not care about the parents of the students who were not students but were older than her. She said mercilessly, for this exam, our class has generally regressed. Moreover, it has regressed greatly. During the winter break, did these students study hard at home? You parents know very well that the college entrance exam is very important. You parents should also pay attention to it. They should not let their children play at home and not study. Liang Hua hoped that all the students in class 1 could study well. However, it was not for their future. She was thinking that if she could get more students into Capital University, then she would have a chance to receive a bonus. Every year, the bonus was more than 200,000 yuan, which was her salary for several months. Chapter 97. Parent-Teacher Conference 13. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 97. Parent-Teacher Conference 13. Lin Shuya was looking for Chin Churu's results. Her gaze fell on the first name. As expected, the first name was Su Yishio, the person who dominated the first place all year round. The second name was Lu Ming. The third name must belong to her rower. Lin Shuya thought to herself confidently. Most of Chin Churu's exams in high school were in third place. Sometimes, she would also get other rankings, but she had never fallen out of the top 10. It was no wonder that Lin Shuya thought so. However, the third place, with 701 points, was Chen Chen, not Chin Churu. Lin Shuya's heart sank a little. Rower must have performed abnormally this time. She should be the fourth place. However, 4th, 5th, none of them were Qin Churu even until the 8th place. Lin Shuya looked down and finally found Qin Churu in the 9th position. When she saw the final grade ranking, she was in 11th place. Lin Shuya's heart sank completely. Rower was actually ranked after 10th this time. The other parents also looked for their children's results. Other than the scores being much lower than the last time, the ranking did not drop by much. It was probably because the exam this time was a little more difficult that the results all fell back. The parents heaved a sigh of relief. After looking for their children, they went to look at Qin Churu's ranking. They wouldn't pay too much attention to the results of others. It was just that Lin Shuya was too high profile and had a high and mighty appearance, so they wanted to see Qin Churu's ranking. They searched for a long time before they finally found Qin Churu. Qin Churu, 667 points, 11th place in the grade. Some of the parents' faces were filled with ridicule. They thought that Qin Churu had taken the 3rd place again, so Lin Shuya would be so arrogant. There were 30 students in the class, and Qin Churu ranked 9th. Speaking of which, 6 of the parents' children surpassed Qin Churu. What was there to be proud of? Chen Chen was a low-key student. He didn't let his mother know his results this time. Chen Chen's mother was also choked by Lin Shuya. At this moment, she bluntly told the parent next to her, "Someone's daughter only got 11th place in the exam, and she's already so high and mighty. My son got 4th place. Does that mean that he can look down on someone?" Chen Chen's mother also had a bad temper. She would not take the initiative to provoke others. If others provoked her, she would not take it lying down. She only asked Lin Shuya about Qin Churu's learning methods, and Lin Shuya was full of sarcasm. Her son was brainless. No matter how hard he tried, he could not catch up to Qin Churu. Chen Chen's mother was really angry. She had seized the opportunity to mock Lin Shuya. Chen Chen's deskmate had also done well in the exam and was ranked 9th, better than Qin Churu. She also mocked, "Yeah, a certain someone is acting like her daughter is the best. Don't you see what kind of goods you are? You dare to look down on others." They happened to be sitting behind Lin Shuya, and their words entered Lin Shuya's ears without missing a single word. Lin Shuya was so angry that her face turned ashen, but she was unable to say anything to refute it. Didn't she look down on them just now? Lin Shuya was a person who cared about her face. She originally thought that Qin Churu had done well this time. There was no reason why she wouldn't be able to get 3rd place in the exam. However, she was ridiculed. No matter how much Lin Shuya loved Qin Churu, she couldn't help but have some resentment toward Qin Churu in her heart. She didn't tell her in advance that she had finished more than 10th place in the exam, causing her to make such a big fool of herself. Chapter 98. Qin Xing Cheating. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 98. Qin Xing Cheating. Ever since Liang Hua was forced to apologize to Qin Xing in front of the entire school in Class 4, Liang Hua had been accumulating this anger in her heart. Every day, she had a sullen face. If she was slightly dissatisfied in class, she would scold them. The students of Class 1 lived in fear and trepidation, afraid of doing anything that would make Liang Hua dissatisfied. Naturally, someone complained about Liang Hua's behavior to the school. However, the news somehow leaked out. Not only did Liang Hua not receive any punishment, she even found out about it. When she returned to the class, she threw a huge tantrum at them. She even threatened them that if anyone dared to complain for no reason, she would make them withdraw from the school. With this threat, everyone naturally did not dare to complain about her anymore. These few days, Liang Hua had become even worse. The students of Class 1 were suffering unspeakably. At this moment, Liang Hua looked at Lin Shuya and sneered, "Some of the students have regressed seriously. Last time, they were in 3rd place with a score of 705. This time, they were in 11th place with a score of 667. In the two examinations, there was a difference of 8 places and 38 points. Lin Shuya had already guessed that Liang Hua was referring to Qin Churu. All the parents looked at her in unison, their eyes filled with ridicule. Churu's mother, I hope that you can properly supervise Qin Churu's studies. This time, she has regressed greatly. This time, Liang Hua did not give Lin Shuya any face and directly called out her name. Lin Shuya's face was ashen, and she did not say another word. Following that, she could no longer listen to what Liang Hua said. Her ears were buzzing, and Lin Shuya wished that she could leave the school immediately. The parent-teacher meeting finally ended. Lin Shuya walked out of class 1, and Qin Churu was waiting for her. Lin Shuya frowned, and her tone was very displeased. Rower, did you get 11th place this time? Qin Churu's originally obedient face stiffened for a moment. She was asking about her results this time. Fortunately, she had thought of a way to deal with it in advance. Qin Churu's eyes quickly turned red. Mom, you know that I caught a cold those few days. During the exam, I felt very dizzy. She lowered her head again. I'm sorry. No matter what the reason is, it was my fault for not performing well. Qin Churu's cry instantly made Lin Shuya's heart ache. She didn't think about whether Qin Churu's explanation was true. She regretted that she had questioned Qin Churu just now. The resentment in her heart towards Qin Churu also disappeared. She hugged Qin Churu with heartache. Rower, this time it's a bit worse. Just do well next time. Okay, Mom, I'll definitely do well next time. Okay, Mom believes in you. You're much more outstanding than that girl Qin Sheng. No matter what, you'll still do better than Qin Sheng. Lin Shuya completely looked down on Qin Sheng. She thought that a poor student from the countryside wouldn't be able to do well in the exam. Qin Churu's body was a little stiff. She was a little glad that Lin Shuya did not know that Qin Sheng had gotten first place. At this time, two parents of class 4 passed by them and were discussing Qin Sheng's results. This time, the one who got first place was not Su Yishio, but Qin Sheng from class 4. I did not expect that class 4, the worst class in year 3 of H City High School, would have a first place in the grade. It is really unbelievable. This Qin Sheng is really amazing. I heard that she passed the perennial top scorer Su Yishio as soon as she transferred to this school. She's even more than 10 points higher than him. With her guidance, I'm afraid our son will study hard. That's true. There's hope for him to pass the second test. To be honest, I'm a little worried that she'll transfer to class 1. Chapter 99. Love. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 99. Love. As the voice faded away, Lin Shuya's mind went blank. Qin Sheng got first place. Lin Shuya couldn't think and stopped the two parents. What did you say? Who got first place? One of the parents answered, Qin Sheng from class 4 got first place. Didn't you know that are there two Qin Shengs in class 4? Lin Shuya couldn't believe that Qin Sheng got first place. The parent was impatient. There's only one Qin Sheng in class 4. Lin Shuya raised her voice. Did she cheat to get this result? Is there something wrong with your brain? Just because she got first place, she's cheating. They didn't want to bother with Lin Shuya anymore, so they left after saying that. After they left, Lin Shuya still stood there in a daze. From the moment Qin Churu heard the conversation between the two parents until Lin Shuya went up to ask, she was cold from head to toe. Rower, is it true that Qin Sheng got first place? Lin Shuya grabbed Qin Churu's hand and asked. Lin Shuya had always thought that Qin Sheng was a poor student. It was like that in the countryside, not to mention in H City High School. She also thought that Qin Sheng would not do very well in the exam this time. It was already considered good if she did not get the last place in the exam. Once she found out that Qin Sheng was the first place in the exam, she lost control. Qin Churu nodded stiffly. Boom! Lin Shuya was drenched in cold water. Soon, she calmed down. Rower, how did Qin Sheng get her results? A thought popped up in Lin Shuya's mind. A person could not have improved so much. There was only one possibility for obtaining such good results, and that was cheating. As if confirming Lin Shuya's thoughts, Qin Churu nodded. I was in the same exam room as her, and she was sitting right in front of me. She seemed to be lowering her head from time to time, and her movements were a little abnormal. She's my sister, and I don't dare to tell the teacher. Lin Shuya's eyes darkened. Rower, shouldn't your classroom be monitored? This kind of behavior must be stopped. The exam should be fair and just. Qin Sheng won first place by cheating, so it's unfair to the other students. In Lin Shuya's opinion, Qin Sheng had cheated and she had to be reported. This was for her own good, and it was also fair to the other students. Qin Churu was nervous. If she went to the teacher, wouldn't Lin Shuya know that she was lying? Qin Churu hugged Lin Shuya's arm affectionately. Mom, sister won't do it again. Think about it. If sister is found to have cheated, won't it affect the reputation of the Qin family? Lin Shuya frowned and said disapprovingly, not many people know that she has a relationship with the Qin family. Just in case, Qin Churu said coquettishly. Lin Shuya's brows relaxed slightly. She poked Qin Churu's head and said, Rower, I know that you're thinking of your sister. She might not appreciate your kindness to her. Don't be so stubborn next time. If she still cheats, tell the teacher. Qin Churu nodded obediently. She heaved a sigh of relief. Mom, let's go back. Qin Churu did not want to stay in school any longer. She was worried that Lin Shuya would find out that Qin Sheng did not cheat. On the way out of the school gate, Lin Shuya saw Qin Sheng. Beside her was a man in his 20s. They stood under the shade of a tree. The man took a leaf from her hair. Qin Sheng lowered her brows and did not stop him. She fell in love. Lin Shuya finally relaxed her eyebrows again. Chapter 100. Argument. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 100. Argument. Qin Churu shook her head. This is the first time I've seen this man. This is ridiculous. She's dating at such a young age. She's really unworldly. When she comes to a big city, she learns from those low-class women. Lin Shuya frowned. On the other side, Qin Sheng raised her head and saw Lin Shuya. She looked away and pretended that she didn't exist. Brother Fu, let's go back. The two of them walked past Lin Shuya. Lin Shuya wanted to lecture Qin Sheng, but Qin Sheng didn't even look at her. Lin Shuya's face froze. She watched as Qin Sheng walked further and further away from her. How did I give birth to such a daughter? When she saw me, she treated me as if I didn't exist. Lin Shuya was extremely uncomfortable. She could have despised Qin Sheng, but she gave birth to Qin Sheng and gave her life. What reason did Qin Sheng have to despise her? Lin Shuya's gaze fell on Qin Churu again, and her expression softened. Rower, it's fortunate that I have a daughter like you. Fu Hanchuan returned to the car. He sat in the driver's seat, and Qin Sheng was beside him. He sent Qin Sheng back to the Qin residence. Sheng Sheng. Fu Hanchuan called out to Qin Sheng, who was unfastening her seatbelt. He took out a bag of white rabbit milk candy. Sheng Sheng, eat more candy. Qin Sheng took it, opened it, and took out a white rabbit milk candy. The white rabbit milk candy lay in her fair palm. Fu Hanchuan looked at it, and his eyes deepened. Thank you, Brother Fu. Qin Sheng peeled off the candy wrapper and put the candy into her mouth. The sweet taste spread in her mouth until it reached her heart. Qin Sheng narrowed her eyes, enjoying it very much. Qin Sheng liked to eat candy very much, and she ate a few of them every day. Fu Hanchuan smiled. A sense of satisfaction was spreading in his heart. After the parent-teacher conference, Huang Xiaoyan took the city bus back alone. Huang Xiaoyan was changing her slippers at the entrance. Jiang Wangya had just returned from outside. She was dressed very brightly, carrying several shopping bags in her hands. When she saw Huang Xiaoyan, the corners of her lips curled up into a smile. "Xiaoyan, you're back." "Yes," Huang Xiaoyan replied casually. Father Huang was sitting in the living room reading the newspaper when he heard the sound. He stood up and took the shopping bags from Jiang Wanya's hand. "Xiaoyan, how did you score this time?" Father Huang was very busy and rarely paid attention to Huang Xiaoyan. Jiang Wangya took care of Huang Xiaoyan's life. He didn't even know that Huang Xiaoyan had taken the exam. It was only yesterday when Jiang Wangya told him that the class teacher had asked him to attend the parent-teacher conference that he found out that Huang Xiaoyan had taken a test. Father Huang had asked Jiang Wangya to attend, but Jiang Wangya found an excuse and didn't go over. Huang Xiaoyan's answer was very casual. "I passed." Father Huang frowned. "Xiaoyan, your grades haven't been good. I also put in a lot of effort to get you into the best school in H City. Can't you be like Qin Churu and Su Yixio in class 1 and be a little better?" Huang Xiaoyan lowered her eyebrows and was very quiet. Her eyes were filled with mist. "Brother Xing, don't talk about Xiaoyan. No matter what, as long as Xiaoyan is happy, that's all that matters," Jiang Wangya advised gently. Huang Xiaoyan sneered. "Jiang Wangya, don't be so hypocritical. It's disgusting." Father Huang was angry. He had never cared about his daughter. After all, she had food, clothing, and shelter. She had never lacked anything. Since she was young, he had never mistreated her. He had pampered her too much, which was why she was so arrogant now. Father Huang rubbed his brows and felt a headache coming on. "Apologize to your mother." Huang Xiaoyan could no longer hold back her tears. She pointed at Father Huang and shouted, "My mother is dead." "What kind of mother is she?"